Hey guys, welcome back. And as promised, I started watching all the movies that were either big winners or... Wait a moment. Eh, eh, there we go. I started watching the movies that were either big winners or big nominees at the Oscars. So I decided to start with the movie that I was the most reluctant to watch, and that was Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Got it. And it was impossible at the end of this movie to forget the name because it was everywhere in the town. It was like Ebbing grocery store, Ebbing post office, Ebbing police department, Ebbing. So it was, by the end of it, I was like, yes, it's Ebbing. I got it. So I'll admit, this one was the one that I was the most reluctant to watch. And it's because there's always at least one picture that is similar in all of the nominees every year. You know, like the slice of life, kind of Americana kind of style of life, like kind of from the South, about people that are very weary. And the reason why I don't really like this kind of movies is usually the protagonist. It's always, you know, the work down single mom who has it really hard and she never wears makeup and she's like a strong independent woman that needs no man to tell her what to do. And it's like your Erin Brockovich, it's your Sally Field movie. At one point it was Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock wasn't a single mom, but still it was a strong independent female woman that has a strong Southern accent. And I don't really like those kind of movies. So I was a bit reluctant to watch this one. But actually, to my surprise, I really did enjoy Three Billboards. So the Three Billboards is just kind of the trigger that starts the movie. So it's the Three Billboards in case that starts the movie. So it's the Three Billboards in case, as always, spoilers. It's about a woman whose daughter got raped and murdered, and the police never found the killer. So she sees these three billboards that are outside of the town, and she decides to rent them. And in doing so, she puts and the billboards, there's three signs that she says, "How come my daughter got murdered?" And there's no guilty person no guilty person found yet. And she directly blames it on the sheriff of the town, that it's well liked and well respected among the citizens. And to make matters worse, it is well known that he's dying of cancer. So everyone around her just kind of starts, of course, treating her like a pariah, like we're not friend of yours because we really like our sheriff. And the sheriff is Woody Harrelson, and I love this man because he can be either extremely ridiculous or extremely serious. This is one of the times that he's extremely serious, and it just works. He's extremely likable. You can tell that he's suffering because he knows that he's dying. And on top of this, he has to like make sure that everyone in town are like at peace. And then he gets all the flack from Mildred, which is Frances Part, the winner. She won the Oscar for Best Actress. And the first act ends with him committing suicide. He's like, I'm not gonna go down bedridden and sick. I'm just gonna go out on my own terms, and he commits suicide. And his suicide scene, it came out of nowhere. I did thought that he was gonna be more involved in the story, but no, he's kind of the one that sets in motion the rest of the movie. And I really like his suicide because he left notes for everybody. He left notes for his wife. He left notes for other police enforcers and Mildred. And I really like that he starts, it's not about the billboards. I'm not committing suicide about the billboards. To show you how much it's not about the billboards, I'm paying the rent next month for the billboards. Just so everyone can see them and hate you. And that was so spiteful and yet so hilarious that I really, really liked that revenge of his against her. Like, it wasn't about the billboards. but it did hurt. So I'm gonna stink you with it. Then, like I said, we have Frances, we have Mildred. We have the character of Mildred. And I hate characters like Mildred. I just said it. I hate Erin Brockovich. I hate the I don't know, the part where the actress wins because she's always angry and she's always making a face or screaming, and she's very tortured. That's why she always has this face. Okay, let me. I don't care about nothing. Like it's always like that. They're always pissed off. They're just But this is the interesting thing about this movie, and is that this movie brings it out to the front. Everyone is like, Mildred, you're a piece of shit. And who does this? Peter Dinklage. It was surprise Peter Dinklage. I did not know that Peter Dinklage was in this movie. And the thing about the character of Peter Dinklage, it also has to do with my other favorite character. And honestly, I think who was actually the protagonist of this story, because he's the one that changes. And that is Sam Rockwell's character. He was also the winner for Best Supporting Actor, which I think is bullshit. He should have been nominated for Best Actor. But at the same time, there was no way that if Timothy from Call Me By Your Name did not beat Gary Oldman, Sam Rockwell would have not beaten Gary Oldman. So in a way, I'm glad he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor because he won that category. But Sam Rockwell's character, he's like a detective. Well, he wants to be a detective. But he's extremely racist and a homophobic police officer. And he does this one of the most wrong things in the movie, but one of the funniest ones. And, you know, they arrest Mildred because she attacked her dentist because he was bitching about the billboards. And she's trying to tell him that, oh, well, so I attacked a dentist that attacked me and it's fine, but you guys attack black people and torture them and it's fine. And then Sam Rockwell characters goes, we do not attack, I think it was, we do not call it Negro torture anymore, we call it Afro-American torture. And it's like, what? He's like so proud of it too. It's like, we don't call it Negro torture, it's Afro-American, if you will. It's just so wrong. It's just such a proper, horrifying joke for this character. And you're like, oh my god, this guy is a piece of shit, and he is. And the other cool part about it, it's Sam Rockwell, so of course at one point he's always with headphones, hearing music. And it does have some very nice visuals when they're about to announce that the character of Woody Harrelson committed suicide. Because yeah, he's like with the headphones, just like minding his own business, and everyone behind him is crying. And then you realize what's about to befall him. And another completely bullshit scene. He's reading the letter that Woody left him in the police station, and Mildred, because they put the signs on fire, she sets the police station on fire. And I really thought this was the only scene that bothered me, because we have Sam Rockwell, he's reading the letter, and you know, it's very meaningful. You know, Woody is telling him to not be such a piece of shit, because he wants to do good at the end of the day. He wants to be a good police officer. And, you know, he's reading it like really touched, like, yes, I really admire you and I will try to do better. And there's a fire behind him. And you're like, how can he not see the fire? Yes, I know he's hearing music, but you know, to notice that there's a fire, you don't need to see the fire. You can feel it and smell it. It's like, how did he not notice it until the fire was here? And, you know, he had to be like that because he gets burned in the fire. And like I was saying, the character of Peter Dinklage in here matters because this guy, of course, is a racist. Of course, he takes it against Peter Dinklage. And the character of Peter Dinklage, you know, I really like when actors who are very charismatic, like Peter, who can totally be protagonist and steal a scene, but they're also really good at being a good supportive actor. Sometimes some actors just cannot do that. And, you know, he was just a good supportive character that pointed out that Mildred was a piece of shit, and that this guy was a piece of shit. And that even though he may have his physical faults, he's a decent person, and he can relish on that. That was the whole point of his character, and that was really nice. You know, because at the end of the day, he has a crush on Mildred, and he asks her out, and he covers for her that he saw her burning the police station. And, you know, he tells her that, oh my God, you did such a sacrifice dating the midget. It's like, what did I do wrong? I only asked you out. And what did you do? You burned a police station. So, like, don't look at me like I'm the piece of shit because I'm asking you to go out with me. Like, I'm not asking you to come here to blackmail you. I just asked you out because I liked you. And you're accusing me of being a piece of shit. And yes, you realize that she's a horrible person. And you also have Sam Rockwell, who's a horrible person. So at the end, the movie is him getting his act together, particularly Sam Rockwell character, and try to, you know, fix the case of Mildred's daughter, Angela, and, you know, get the bad guy. And it does end with them going to Illinois. They will decide on the way if they kill a guy who they know it's a rapist. It's not Angela rapist, but they think it's some kind of rapist. And it's not really whether they go and do it. It's rather these two persons with this, who are very damaged and horrible people, find a way to put their past behind them and try to move forward into the future. And yeah, it really did it took me by surprise in a very pleasant manner. The dialogue was witty and quick. Like I said, that joke about its African American torture, it came out of nowhere, and I don't think I will ever erase it from my head. Should Frances McDormand won the award? I don't think so. I haven't seen I-Tonya yet. I kind of want to see if Margot Robbie deserved it better. But nonetheless, I really did enjoy it. It did deserve a lot of the praise it got. It was definitely a good movie. And from the slice of life Americana kind of movie that I don't usually enjoy, I enjoyed this one a lot. So if you have any curiosity about here we go again. I can do it, guys. 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I really do recommend it. It was a very nice movie. Sam Rockwell was amazing. Peter Dinklage, Woody, and like I said, Frances is not my favorite, but I'm very biased. But I prefer her in Fargo. That's all I want to say. I'm going to leave it at that. I prefer her in Fargo. She did good. I prefer her in Fargo. Let's leave it at that. So next movie will be Get Out. I am very excited to see that one. So see you there.